The Pat Soundbytes IGTV. Keeping new music alive is what I do on the radio and now on video. Conducting live chats with the artists and learning the stories behind their latest release and also playing their new video. Special thanks to my friend Jamie at For the Win Media. For the Win Media is a publicity, business development, and marketing consultancy out of New York, New York, catering to a limited number of clients in music, technology, books, comics and Comic-Cons, film and TV, and much more. For more information, contact Jamie by email, jamie@forthewin.media, or by phone, 917-334-4130. Special thanks today to my sponsor, Go-Go Tuners. For all guitar players looking for a focus on ease of use, readability, durability, and accuracy, look no further. The Go-Go Tuner is the choice of many touring professionals and a favorite of casual players. Go-Go's signature green you're in and red you're out screen makes tuning quick and easy. For more information, go to the website at gogotuners.com. Special thanks to WBXO Classic Rock Radio Redefined, allowing me to keep new music alive on the radio airways on the Pat Show every Sunday from 5 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Only on WBXO Classic Rock Redefined. And a big thank you to Mr. Evan Balzer for allowing me to use his amazing instrumental that you're hearing right now. It's called Trails. To find out more incredible music by Evan, go to his website at evanbalzer.com. My special guest today is heavy metal legendary guitarist Mr. K.K. Downing. K.K. has recently formed his own band called K.K.'s Priest, and they're getting ready to release their debut album, which comes out on August 20th. And it's called Sermons of the Sinner, and it rocks. We're going to play the video. We're going to talk to KK about the band, the music, and a whole lot more right here on Pat Soundbytes IGTV. Hey, live on Pat Soundbytes IGTV, keeping new music alive on the radio and video. We are rocking today. I am honored, such a great honor, to have this legend from the UK joining me today on my show. My goodness, the wonderful, the amazing KK Downing. How are you, sir?
Brilliant, Pat. Thank you very much, buddy, for having me on. And hello to everyone over there in the US. Miss you all a lot.
Well, we miss you, and we're glad to see you, and you're smiling. And that little backdrop behind me is great news for us KK Downing fans, as he is back with a vengeance and even more. And that great album behind me, that album cover behind me for Sermons and the Sinners, it is out there. Well, it will be officially out there on August 20th on Explora Music. I want to say EX1 on August 20th, but you can pre-order that and check out the videos for Sermons of the Sinner. And his first track, and I keep forgetting the first track, was Hellfire and Hellfire Thunderbolt. So, my friend, great to have you back. How have you been doing since the last time you kind of stepped away from Priest, and people are like, KK, where is he? And then, if I get the story correct, KK, it was back on stage at Bloodstock with Ross the Boss. And yeah. I guess that re-energized you, per se, having that crowd go crazy?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, of course. I think I was very patient, really waiting for the door to be open again to obviously take up my previous role, but that never happened. And so when I did actually start jumping on the stage, obviously it kind of started to feel pretty good, really. I mean, I was never the one to play with other musicians, was I, Pat, ever? You know, my whole career was, you know, just Robbie and Ben, you know, and the guys. So it was new. Obviously, Rob and Glenn had done albums and concerts with other musicians, but that was never ever for me. You know, Priest was my loyal, you know, sanctuary really. But and then obviously I jumped on stage and I started to play a few gigs. And I thought I can do this, you know, rather than not do it at all. I mean, I'm thinking this could be a very very good thing for me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great thing for you. And then you got Tim Ripper Owens back. And obviously, man, talk about a power vocalist. And he was also in Priest for a while. So it kind of makes sense that you gravitate to him. He knows you, he knows the history of Priest and the history of your work. So boy, does that work out well. Tell me who else is in the band there, KK.
Yeah, I've got AJ Mills, who's from England, was born very close to where I was born, so the synergy's good, you know, and even though he's some years younger, you know, but he's a bit like a younger version of me, dare I say, I guess, really, you know, back in the day. Well, but yeah, it's good to have some young blood, and we've also got Sean L from San Diego, who was playing in Ripper's band with the Three Tremors, and so we checked Sean out, and so it's kind of a bit of a family. We all kind of, you know, even though we didn't directly know each other, like Ripper knew Sean, I knew AJ, so we kind of, and I knew Tony, and I think that we were able to validify everybody through everybody, so we know we're in a good place, and it's always better the devil you know, as they say, right?
Absolutely. And Ripper, I think the last time I talked to Tim, he was in the band, well, he might still be in the band, New Revenge. He was doing that for a little bit a few years back, but great to have him back. Tell me about the songwriting process, JJ, and the whole recording process. Was this during this whole pandemic? I mean, after you got done with 2019 and you
Yeah,
started reaching out to these guys?
2019. So I did those couple of shows, and the last one was in November. So in December, Christmas coming up, I thought, well, there's a lot of downtime around Christmas, so I thought I'll get stuck in and see if there's an album there, because I approached the other guys in Judas and they said the door's permanently closed. They're happy with the way that they are. So I sat down and thought I'll have a go at putting an album together, and it just happened really, really fast. Almost in 5 days, I had the backbone of all of the songs, and then within 4 weeks, I had everything, including, you know, lyrical ideas and melody lines, because I was on my own,
Right.
you know, and I wanted to do it that way round, really, Pat. So I wanted to know that there was an album there, and okay, then we're good to go. We know we've got a band, you know, we know we've got an album, so the easy thing is who wants to join us, you know. But, you know, putting a band together and then thinking, okay, we need an album now, guys, you know, it's a lot harder to do that. So it was a lot better to do it that way, I think, you know. So, and I found it very, very easy to do.
And the recording process, were you sending WAV files back and forth?
Yeah, we
Zooms?
were, absolutely, but we were using the studio down in London as well. One that Tony uses a lot, called the Barnyard, and so we were able to get the drums down, and we were able to get the vocals down. Ripper came to my house and did the vocals here, which was great. But the minute they went back, COVID dug in, and it all went to pot then, really. So the idea was to finish the record by the end of April, and we had some shows booked in the summer, but they all got cancelled. So we just had to sit on the thing, really, and just kept, you know, messing around with it, making it a bit better, which was good. It's the first time I had the luxury, I think, of making sure I was 100% happy with the album before you had to deliver it. But then this year we had some gigs booked again. Those are cancelled. So I said to the company, we've got to release this record, you know, so I can be getting on with another one, which I am. So
Good for you. I'd love to hear that.
I want the fans to hear the record.
No, I think it's you know, you know, back in the day, you make an album and then you go right on tour and then you get off the road and you're writing another one. And I mean, the whole pandemic is good and bad. I'm the guy playing new music, so I love it. Look at it this way. Everybody will know the tracks. So when you do get on stage, nobody's running to, when you say, okay, I got a new song out and everybody goes to go to the bathroom and get a beer. Now they're going to still hang out because they know the record.
Yeah. You know, I never liked to go and see bands. My favorite bands, I would go and see UFO and they would play a new song and I'm thinking, you know, it's always better, as you quite rightly say, to know the songs ideally, to really be able to enjoy them, you know, in a live situation, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way it's always worked.
Absolutely. When you think of songwriting, I mean, you're a master, amazing guitarist. Does it always start with a guitar riff, and then you work around that to come up with the idea or the song? Or
yeah, sometimes a title, you know. Sometimes, you know, if the songwriter's out there, sometimes if you can think of a title and it means something to you, and you think it's going to mean something to the fans, you know, and then you pick some pretty good strong phonetics in the syllables, you know, with the words and with the delivery, and take it from there. But often, being a guitar player, you know, you play stuff, whether it's from an old catalogue of ideas you've got or something new, and then you experiment with melody lines over top.
Well, let's face it, heavy metal defining guitar style that you have created back 40-something years ago certainly established Judas Priest's iconic sound. I always ask KK, you know, great guitarists like yourself, how would you describe your tone? What comes out? How does it make it from here to the fingers to get it all out there?
You know, it's strange that, isn't it, really? Because I've always been one of those guitar players. I think the only thing I carry with me that kind of has any consistency kind of tone-wise is probably the whammy bar and feedback stuff that I do, which is kind of Hendrix style, you know. That's what I took from the great man, you know. But I often experiment. I mean, if you listen to like Angus or Michael Schenker, they're very, very definable, aren't they, with their guitar tones? But I like to think that I've got a reasonably distinctive technique. You know, I'd like to think I'm fairly identifiable, but I am pretty eclectic. I do swap and change, and you know. So for better or for worse, I think it's a good thing, you know.
I think it's a good thing.
But that's me, you know. You know, so to keep refresh. If I find a new tone and I like it and I want to use it, I just go ahead and use it, you know.
I'm not a musician, KK, but a lot of my listeners always ask, when you get a guy like yourself to ask a few gear questions. So what is the go-to guitar that you use for this album? I mean, I always see you with the Flying V for a while, and I read a little bit you were working on maybe playing what do you call it, a Hammer guitar?
The Hammer guitars, yeah. There's a company in San Diego called KXK, and they're hand-built guitars. So I've been using those for a while now. So they are pretty much my go-to guitar. People will often see me with the white one, you know, that features in the videos, but I've got a red one and a black one. So to be honest, I'm happy to pick almost anything up really and just use it, you know. Fortunately, everything sounded good on this record. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I'm thinking, you know, you pick a guitar up and you plug it in, and we all have these guitar processors and stuff like that. But a lot of it, was recording a clean sound as well, so that that was reamped later on in the studio with Marshall amps and stuff like that. So, but even the stuff up when I was using the preamps and the processors, that all sounded good as well. You know, I could have used that on the record. So yeah, all a part of the process. But like I say, it was good to know that everything sounded good. So I must be doing something right.
No, you are doing something right. And the reviews of the album is going really well for you. You use heavy strings, KK, or you use very light,
no,
bendable, real easy?
Yeah, I don't have very strong fingers at all. So I use 8 to 40 really, or 8 to 38. So that's 8, 11, 14, 20, 30, and 38 or 40. You know, so it's pretty light. You know.
Yeah, no.
It feels heavy sometimes, but I do tune down a half tone, and that helps me as well.
When you're on stage, it's not about hitting every note. When you're in the live performance, you just let it go, right? For the most part, you let the feel of the sound and the whole thing go.
Yeah, it's those bends. Even though I don't do it, I like to go not just to a tone and a half, but a double tone sometimes. You know, don't ask me why, but I'd like to know that I can bend that far if I want to without my fingers being cut into.
Is there a plan for a tour when things clear up that we can get to see you and Ripper and the guys promote the album?
Absolutely, as soon as we can. We had some gigs booked last year, this year, but it's looking very much like we'll be on tour next year. So, well, I guess we just need to see, Pat. A lot depends on the reaction from the album and see how successful it is as to where we can go and who's going to book us. But we're getting some nice offers through some festivals and stuff, you know. So there's no doubt the band will be everything you ever expected from me, you know.
It's crazy that the festival's always in Europe. Over there, it's just, you know, hundreds and thousands of people. And here in the States, it's never really been, you know, you get 30 or 40,000 people. So a lot of artists rather go across the pond by you and hit so many more people in one event than, you know, nickel dime throughout the whole states and everything. But we want you here in New York, KK, no matter what it takes. We want you back. It's been a long, long time. And I've read the reviews and the fans are going crazy to know that you're back. Were you practicing at all over the years, sitting home, writing and just watching and seeing what's going on?
When it's time to do it, it's all about picking the set list, really. You know, happy to be guided by the fan choice there. But we'll be out there, you know, very much looking forward to it, really. You know, it will literally be all guns blazing. So we're gearing up for it. We're ready. We're psyched. You know, we're raring to go.
Oh, that's cool. Talk to me about the song "Sermons of the Sinner." What's the story behind that?
Yeah, that's there's so much content and emotion in that song. It means so much. There's an awful lot in that song. You probably in one song you'd actually incorporates just about every sentiment and emotion and message and everything in that song, really. But essentially, the story is it really starts off about me, you know, because I started off this road of metal back in the 60s, you know, when it didn't exist, but I could hear music and, you know, and wanted to develop it. You know, I'd heard remnants here and there from different artists, but not collectively one band doing all the same thing, you know. And so that was my journey in life. And then I was fortunate enough to be a part of this great evolution, you know, from blues to progressive blues to rock to hard rock to heavy metal. This whole thing, you know, I was a part of that, and it's so important. But what disturbs me a little bit is the fact because we're losing a lot of friends along the way. You know, everybody's, you know, we're all getting older now. We've had this wonderful journey that I don't want this wonderful genre of music just to be a page in a history book in 50 years' time, you know. So it's about, the Sons of the Sinner is about, you know, just a memory, you know, remember how it was, but also how it can be again. And hopefully the album Sons of the Sinner will, as the lyrics say, but the Sons of the Sinner, they can help us rise again to keep this music, our beloved music, you know.
Try to engage a younger crowd.
Exactly, or even older musicians. Hopefully people will listen to the album, and think, you know, that's the type of music I'd like to play. And hopefully, you know, in time to come, maybe we'll see, we've already seen a kind of younger version of Led Zeppelin with Greta Van Fleet, but
right,
maybe we'll see a young Deep Purple or a young Judas Priest or a young Iron Maiden or a young Saxon, or I don't know. We saw a young AC/DC in Airborne, kind of.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
So, and there's validity, you know, there all the time. The fans are there, so it's about the young musicians. You don't have to go out and invent the wheel. Just, you know, create your interpretation of the wheel already exists, because the fans like that, you know. The audience is already there. So yeah, I mean, I could go on for a long time about just that one song, let alone the whole album.
Right.
Because every song has a meaning, you know, every song and an interpretation. And that's why it made songs easy to compose for me, because the content was in my brain. All I have to do is put it into words.
Is songwriting therapeutic for you, KK?
I think it was, because it was very enjoyable. And the thing is, I'm going, wow, this is me doing this on my own, not with my counterparts this time, you know.
Right.
And it was a lot easier because I didn't have to compromise, you know, because when you work as a team, you're always subjected to what other people think is good or not good. So this time, you know, it was just honest, and you know, it was just me doing what I do. I have a style, you know, and there's parameters, you know. I think those parameters are probably much broader with Glenn, and as it would with more people that, you know, they all have a spectrum here, a spectrum there. So if you join the two together, it gets this wide. But I guess with me, my comfort zone is kind of totally in this record, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get
it. On the next record, it could go to different places, but this was just totally me in my safe and secure boundaries that I feel happy in, you know.
No, good. Hey, look, it's all good. It expanded you. Like you said, when you're in a band, some people say, yeah, I like it, don't like it. And then you never get a chance to let it out that you want to do. So here's a great opportunity. Although it's bittersweet, and I got to say as a fan, and I know it's been all well documented, even when Glenn announced that he was ill, I'm a Priest fan. I thought for sure you would be back. You made it clear that you would love to go back, but it did not happen that way. No phone call. Okay. Roll up your sleeves and look what you're doing now. So I applaud you for that.
Because for 10 years, the guys told the world, the fans and the media, that I'd retired. So if that was true, and that was the only reason, then why wasn't I allowed to come out of retirement?
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, people use the word retire, but you stepped away, just like Rob did at the one point. I don't think you retired.
It was all just getting too much, and I wasn't ready to do the farewell tour because I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, because, you know, I wasn't enjoying the concerts. You know, I mean, no one knew about Glenn's condition. I don't know what was going on, but you know, the band wasn't tight on stage, you know, and it bothered me, you know, but it was a lot of things, you know, it was a lot.
Right.
But instead of the guys saying, okay, let's sit down and talk about it, you know, it just didn't seem like my voice was ready to be heard. You know, decisions were being made and I had to comply with them or not. Well, I thought that my voice should have been the loudest voice because I was the most loyal member and I was there at the beginning.
Yeah, you're a founding member. Have you had a chance to speak to Elise Glenn?
No, I haven't spoken to him.
Okay.
No, I haven't spoken to him.
Well, you moved on and you got some great songs and you got a fantastic album. And I love the album cover and I love the name. And everybody has certainly missed you. And we can't certainly wait to get you back on stage. As they say, sometimes you just can't keep a good rocker down, KK. So, you know what? I always say things happen for a reason. So be it. But the fans don't forget who created the sound when we hear all those great hits. So
yeah, like I say, greatest respect to my former bandmates, and I wish them all, you know, all the very best. And I'm sure that they'll, you know, they'll go on to do well. But I would like fans, you know, to check out the album and the band, and we very much look forward to coming and meeting everyone again and playing some great shows and having a great time.
I think it's great. The band's K.K.'s Priest. Fans are able to pre-order the debut album in various configurations, including an exclusive limited edition autographed metal vinyl silver disc with bonus CD album. I mean, did you think vinyl would ever come back the way it is today, KK? It's crazy.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? You know, it's incredible. So many people, you know, even my vinyl collection now, it's probably so many people. Okay, I bet you've got lots of good stuff in your collection. Can I come around and have a look? I'm going, no, because I know what's going to happen. Oh, this is great. Do you play this one? I'm going, yes, I play it, you know. But
I'm a dinosaur. I'm a vinyl guy. I'm an analog guy. And when we went to the digital world, I don't know. When you play a vinyl, there's something about it. The digital is more compact. I don't know.
It's great to get those double gate sleeves and look through them, you know, 1971, you know, whatever it might be, Wishbone Ash or whatever it might be.
Oh, there you go. Wishbone Ash. Yes, absolutely.
Paul Kossoff's double album. That's in my collection. It's probably quite rare. You know, some pretty early stuff. But yeah, that's great fun. Just reading everything that's on there, you know, and the people that took part, you know.
You could go check it out and connect with KK at KK's website, kk'spriest.com. He's also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And as I said, they can pre-order. And don't forget, KK's got the autobiography out for a while now, Heavy Duty, Days and Nights in Judas Priest. If you haven't purchased that, you got to go check that out. KK, it's great to see you. You're smiling. I'm smiling. I'm blasting this track. And we're ready to put it on our rotation here in New York so everybody knows you are alive and well, and the fingers are still there, and the great guitar riff is still there, and it's all good. I hope you enjoyed the chat as much as I have, sir.
Yeah, immensely, Pat. Thank you very much. And like I say, more songs coming your way pretty soon. So watch out for those. And the very best to you, and keep up the good work that you do. And again, you know, to all the fans, hope to see you real soon.
Excellent. Well, don't go anywhere because it's time to rock a little KK Priest as we're going to play the video for Sermons of the Sinner. So crank it up right here on Pat's Soundbytes IGTV.